Philippines, November 17, 2013. I wanted to say goodbye to my classmates, but couldn't, because it was Sunday. I see my mom's face turn red, wrinkly, tears down her face. I feel my cousin, Helen and Kim, playfully shoving me. How their cousin, going to the US. Next level of success. I heard my neighbor Andong starting his tricycle, underneath the sound of my family sobbing and laughing. I smell the gas from the tricycle, dry asphalt, soft melt flowers from our garden.
I guess I'm an Asian kid born in Oakland. I've lived there for my whole life, and it feels Oakland doesn't really see me. I've been bouncing from houses to apartments from 35th to 9th Ave. Different neighbors every year, people moving in and out here and there. Streets I call home reeks of fear. Oh. Oakland doesn't really care about single mothers who rely on welfare and Section 8. As a worker who's stuck on these empty plates waiting for the next upcoming payment. Oakland would rather give people homes on their dirty buildings than their empty buildings. Oakland doesn't care about my black and brown friends and classmates for 20 that's packed to 30. Expect us to build our future with limited resources and the dropping rate just increasing. Some black and brown kids are packed with a peace that never really ends with any type of peace. But amongst the issues, I fell in love with Oakland. It feels like Oakland wants us to fail. Still, the streets of Oakland welcomed us and gave us a home. I'm a Cambodian teenager created in Oakland, living in ghetto, but striving in this struggle.
Sometime late 2012, I was skipping holidays from school, driving to Manila for the migration process, waiting lines for hours and hours, preparing myself to be interviewed, talking to my mom, practicing English with my aunt. My name is Marian Alvinn. I'm 9 years old. I'm from Kabuga and Luxor. Chair. 10. A house. Oakland, 2013. I felt scared. New people, new neighborhood, a new language I barely knew. I heard new languages I never heard of. My parents tell me about the new place I'm in, how different it is. I've heard gunshots, I've never heard the siren so much before. I smell fresh new air, cigars, I don't know, weed, alcohol. I've never seen so much homelessness. Were they lying about the American dream?
My skin is too dark to be Chinese, so no, this shoe doesn't fit to say the least. If you walk a mile in my pair of shoes, you focus on a pair of self rather than the miles upstairs. As I get older, death is coming closer. My mom taught me to keep running towards success as closure, but these speed bumps of inequitable history lessons of white culture affect my learning and my Cambodian roots. I know my skin color is too dark to be privileged, too light to be considered as a hashtag. Sucks that I gotta do research outside of school about my culture to learn instead of what makes me. I had to learn about the camaraderie through movies and Google and not from those that actually experienced it. Trauma and removal of many generations in a nation they called home. Gentrification is the new genocide, huh? Except the only thing that dies are memories in homes, you see. Men and women with thick wallets filled with power making decisions on behalf of the poor. Ultimate relation to our young children's mind and making them confused about their identity. You see, I looked in the mirror once and was upset that I know more about the Japanese culture more than my own. I can explain to you about the Chinese immigration to San Francisco, Barry can tell you about the migration of my own family. It seems that Oakland and I need to learn how to integrate our roots and heal together.
It's now 2019. I feel supportive to people who have migrated like me. I hear lies, denials, creating travel bans, separating families. I hear the youth like me making a change with their voice. I see a lot of hard work to build understanding between you and me. Mainstream development.
We see displacement.
They try to push us out, but we still shout. We have no fear. We still here. We have no fear. We still here. We still here.
We still here.
We have no fear.
We have no fear.
We still here.
We still here.
Mainstream development.
We see displacement.
They try to push us out, but we still shout. We have no fear. We still here. We have no fear. We still here. We have no fear. We still here. Oakland. I love our walks in West Oakland. I love our walks in West Oakland.
Are we on Dr. Dill? No, that's not what I said.
I love our walks in West Oakland.
Are we on Dr. Dill? No, that's not what I said.
I love our walks in West Oakland.
I'm sorry.
Billy Dr. Dill? That's not what I said.
I love our walks in West Oakland.
I'm sorry.
Are we on Dr. Dill? No, that's not what I said.
I love our walks in West Oakland.
Please help. I'm sorry. Please help.
Are we on Dr. Dill? No, that's not what I said.
I love our walks in West Oakland.
Are we on Dr. Dill? No, that's not what I said.
Please help.
I love our walks in West Oakland.
Please help. I'm sorry.
Are we on Dr. Dill? No, that's not what I said.
I love our walks in West Oakland.
Please help. I'm sorry. Please help. I'm sorry. Please
Hello?
help.
911. There's some dark man, he's harassing everyone. He's making everyone uncomfortable. Please hurry. I feel threatened.
Sir!
Get him off the street! Yeah!
Say about us, how we take your jobs, invade your land, or what should we do to make sure they stay out of land they have it in first? That was before y'all kicked them out of enslavement. Funny how things come full circle. How it was their fault that they live in poverty. How it was their fault that they're homeless. But you were the ones who kicked them out in the first place. So when you say comfortably and you have to hard, I want you to remember the people who live in your first. People who were kicked out so you can live and change the community that they've built up for years. They're slowly dying out, trying to cry out. They get hate when they do what they've been doing in Oakland. When they campaign for equality in the county, y'all say they're excluding them. That's what y'all been doing in every century. Y'all say slavery was way back when, and we should forget about that shit. It was those who had their ancestors enslaved. Still keep the effects. I never realized what Philly felt like, so I thought about the differences I saw in my neighborhood and others. Their neighborhoods were given the same priority as the one I was. Trash, dumping, litter in the streets, potholes, abandoned car seats, police sirens, they never missed a beat. See, I was born and raised up in the hills, mostly white people. You'll see hardly see by me. How these Asian communities is a rarity. We're all underfunded, all the Filipinos. It was good to be friends with people who were like me. That's what Jima said when she was sitting with me. Either putting KTV on the screen, we was looking. She said to me, Filipino girl is good for you. Well, just like that, by now. We were standing with people who didn't look like me. They say they teased me and always looked at me. Kids who looked like you weren't exactly like me. They were acting like their home wasn't from the east. Acting like the weird mind control threw up and get out. But growing up, I want to be just like that too. By the time my hair gone, because who else could I look up to? I didn't see any cool young boys up on the TV screen. And maybe I would have been more comfortable with being myself. Happy that a young man from the land has been represented when he can.
What do you think of when you hear the word privilege? Is it ethnicity or money, or do you think more to it? When I think of privilege, I think of people of color trying harder than anyone else, but it's still under the finger of the oppressor. Like migrants of color who come here and are the backbone of our society, cooking our food and cleaning our toilets that Americans wouldn't even think to clean. Like the youth of color who are told they can't be depressed or understand certain things because they're too young. Like my mom who works the hardest at her job only to get talked behind her back and used by lazy coworkers. When I think of privilege, I think of people of color listening to every single word a police officer says, only to be killed in cold blood. When I think of privilege, I think of the white man who walked into a school killing 17 kids, being labeled as a troubled student. I think of the white man who stabbed Mia Wilson to death, being labeled as mentally ill. If it was an undocumented undocumented immigrant from Mexico that murdered someone, words said to them would be, "This is why we should build a wall."
Build a wall!
Not that they're mentally ill. If it was a Muslim man who murdered someone, words said to them would be, "All Muslims are terrorists."
Terrorists!
Not that they're mentally ill. If it was an Asian man unable to speak fluent English, they're labeled as thugs and scums who eat dogs and cats.
No, you eat dog.
If a woman who is a survivor of domestic violence defends herself by killing the man, they're labeled as murderers
Murderer!
and sent to jail instead of getting the help they need from the trauma they've experienced. Shelley Frey, a 27-year-old black woman, was suspected in shoplifting from Walmart. An off-duty sheriff, Lewis Campbell, approaches them and falls into their car. As they drove off, Campbell continues to follow them and shot her in the neck 2 times. Twice. He claims he feared for his safety, but Shelley was not armed. Why couldn't he just shoot the window or the tire? Even if she did commit a crime, it wasn't worth being killed in front of her 2 young children. Maybe you're wondering, why the hell am I talking about this? Or who am I saying this to? When our black and brown brothers and sisters are fighting each other, what's the reason? When we're labeled as thugs and scum, worthless, why? Why aren't we seen as the white man who needs help? Why aren't we seen as the white man being labeled as mentally ill? When we're fighting instead of loving each other, do you see how that's being used against us? To normalize privilege? To justify police? To confuse society? Why? We shouldn't be fighting each other. We should be united as one to fight against the oppressors.